Every tale frames Sif's memory as devotion. This one calls it a shackle. Fog parts, stone bleeds moonlight, the arena breathes. The arena breathes, asterisk the great grey wolf Sif remembers her night forever. Asterisk dread hangs where the hollow once bled, his armor rusts in her gaze. Artorias, what if loyalty, calls it an unbroken shackle, soul to death. Shatter at a relic Artorias of it does not rest the because he is a never forgotten. This is not a duel, this is a funeral. Artorias, the broken knight of Gwyn's Four, stands shatter at a relic of a dying age. His shield arm lost to the abyss to spare Sif, now a prison of loyalty, she remembers always. Her memory a curse that binds his soul to the lands between. He fights not for victory, but to atone. A knight who cannot die because he is never forgotten. What does it mean to be remembered when the world has turned away? Artorias, a knight of Gwyn's Four, walked with Sif through ash and shadow. His blade cut the abyss wrought. His oath bound him to a wolf who saw beyond death. The great sword cracked where his soul split, still hums with the war he never won. Sif's ring, a shard of his white fire, was left to keep her from the rot he bore. What does memory cost when it outlives the heart that made it? Sif remembers every scar, every vow. She hunts not for blood, but for the knight who became a ghost in her eyes. His name is etched in her howl. His face, unbroken by decay, haunts her endless vigil. The lands between forget, the abyss devours, but Sif's mind is a tomb where Artorias' spirit drowns. He did not fall in Ulasil, he fractured piece by piece as the abyss gnawed at his purpose. To protect her, he gave her his light. To bind her, he gave her his memory. Now she guards what remains of him, a prisoner to the love that outlasted its reason. The knight cannot die. The wolf cannot forget. Together they are a story the world has turned from. What is a bond when it is not a choice? What is loyalty when it is a cage? The truth carves deeper than any blade. Artorias did not vanquish the abyss, became its vessel. When the corruption surged, he shielded Sif with his own arm, severing it to buy her a path to safety. That act, hailed as heroism, was the first lie. The abyss did not retreat, it nested. His armor blackened, his purpose twisted. The knight who once hunted darkness became its hollow echo. What is a bond when it is not a choice? You have seen him, broken, half-formed, a shadow clinging to the edges of the lands between. His shield arm is gone, his soul is fractured. Yet he persists not as a hero, but as a tether. Sif remembers, always. Her mind, unshattered by time, cradles every detail of his face, every vow he swore in life. This is the curse, this is the prison. She does not forget, and he cannot rest. The abyss was not defeated by his sword. The chosen undead bore that burden. Yet Artorias remains, a ghost bound to the woman he failed to save. His loyalty was not a virtue. It was a wound carved open and left to fester, a wound that still bleeds. What if Sif's memory is not love, but a chain? What if the knight you fight is not a monster, but a man? But breathes, golden light fractures through its stone ribs, each beam a splinter in reality. Here, the Erdtree's grace does not heal, it imprisons. The air hums with a name, Artorias, not a tomb but a mirror. His soul, stripped of death, replays its own undoing. Sif waits. Her fur is ash and starlight, she does not howl. To howl would be to forget would be to release him. But her memory is a forge. Every glance at his cursed form rekindles the fire that bound him. The lands between hunger for what they cannot consume. A knight's oaths, a wolf's devotion, these are not virtues, they are anchors. His blade, once raised against the abyss, now cleaves his own existence. Each battle resets the clock, each strike etches his name deeper into the prison's walls. What does it mean to love a soul too broken to perish? She did not curse him, she could not, but her refusal to let him fade is the curse. A king of stars, trapped in a loop of failure. A wolf, her loyalty a chain heavier than any dark moon. The arena's light dims. The next champion steps forward. The cycle begins again. Artorias moves with the hollow grace of a knight who forgets he is hollow. His blade cleaves shadows as if they were enemies, as if the rot in its steel were not his own. The great sword, a splinter of his sundered soul, drums a dirge of fractured oaths. Each swing is a prayer to a god who stopped listening. Sif watches, she always watches. Her eyes, twin moons of unbroken memory, hold him to a truth he cannot unsee. She remembers the man he was. The man he asterisk became asterisk is a shadow even she cannot chase. Her loyalty is not a bond, it is a tomb. A curse that stitches his name to her endless vigil. He strikes, the arena trembles. Gwyn's discipline is a mask, cracking to reveal the thing beneath, a wraith bound to a dead king's war. The sword's edge drinks not blood, but time. Every drop delays the end, every wound he inflicts on himself is a debt unpaid. Why does he not fall? Because Sif remembers. Because her memory is a chain stronger than the abyss could forge. She is his final curse, his eternal witness. A hunter who cannot kill the ghost of her night, a wolf who howls at a moon that no longer exists. The cycle turns, the sword arcs. Artorias fights for a kingdom that forgot him. Sif mourns for a man who forgot he is dead. And the lands between grind their teeth, waiting for the day her memory falters. The day he is finally free. 223 words. The mask fractures, Artorias writhes, his form a tangle of sword and shadow. The abyss does not consume him, it stitches itself to his bones. The Erdtree's light stutters. What it hides is not a bond, but a lock. Sif's memories are not her own. They are glyphs carved into the tree's roots, a prison's walls built to hold what should have been ash. Her loyalty is not choice, it is code. Every glance she casts toward the knight's statue is a chain refastened. Every howl a password spoken to the lands between. Asterisk, do not let him go. Asterisk, the corruption in Artorias' veins is secondary. The true rot is in the wolf's heart. She remembers him as he was before the rot, before the abyss teeth found his soul. But her memory is no tributate, is the curse's anchor, a lie kept alive by the tree's will. He fights, but the war is already won. His soul is not his own. The Erdtree has made him a relic, a looping echo, and Sif, the great grey wolf, is its keeper. Her eyes never closing, her mouth never silent. The curse demands it. Asterisk, remember, remember, remember. Asterisk, until the tree falls, until the memory breaks, until then Artorias is not dead. He is asterisk, unmade asterisk. 223 words. The Erdtree does not heal, it asterisk holds asterisk. Its roots grip Artorias' broken form, Marika's fractured ring grinding the world into a cage. Sif's howl, once a battle cry, now coils around his armor a living chain. He was not born to die, he was forged to asterisk remember asterisk. The demigods' war shattered the ring, the lands between shattered with it, yet Sif's memory is whole, unbroken, a blade that never dulls, she hunts no longer. She asterisk watches asterisk, her eyes, twin moons, reflect a knight who cannot rest. His armor, heavy with the weight of her gaze, crumbles to ash, but the ash asterisk remembers asterisk. It becomes soiled, the tree drinks, no hero's end here, no triumph, only a wolf's eternal vigil, a knight's soul stretched thin as shadow. The Erdtree thrives on this, it feeds on what the ring could not contain, love unspooled into obsession, devotion twisted into chains. Artorias' final breath was not a curse, it was a asterisk sentence asterisk. The lands between are his purgatory, the ring's shards keep the world broken. His soul, neither dead nor alive, drifts bound to the howl that will never fade. The tree's branches whisper his name, the wolf's eyes never close. What remains of Artorias now? Not a knight, not a man, a story, a scar. A shadow kneeling in the roots of a tree, forever waiting for a love that will never return. The curse is not the fall. It is the asterisk waiting asterisk, 264 words. Sif's memory is a blade that never dulls. She waits, not for a return, but for a release that the lands between will never grant. Artorias fell not to the abyss, but to the weight of a name he no longer carried. The chosen undead severed what even death could note, a bond that Sif's heart refused to break. Her loyalty is no virtue, it is a tomb. To remember is to bind is to haunt. The knight who once fought with a wolf's cry now fights in silence, his purpose erased by the very hands that sought to save. The abyss was quenched not by his sword, but by a stranger's resolve. What remains of Artorias is not a hero. It is a shadow tethered to a love that outlived its truth. The lands between are not kind to such ghosts, they do not ascend. They do not rest, they linger, shaped by the memory of what they were, not what they became. And so Sif's curse is clear, to love without limit is to cage. The benediction of her weight is this: no bond, not even one forged in blood and flame, can defy the shape of the world. 183 words. The same iron throb of loyalty that bound Artorias to Melremark's flame now coils through the Erdtree's roots. See the knights of the lands between, their oaths etched in bloodstone, their souls splintered by the weight of service. The Erdtree does not reward devotion, it starves it, twists it into a noose. Sif's howl, low and resonant as a forge's bellows, is no dirge. It is a shackle, her memory, unbroken and unyielding, carves a path the abyss cannot erase. What if the knight's curse is not his fall, but the love that refuses to forget him? The wolf's gaze, fixed on the frozen lake where his shadow still drowns, is a mirror to the age of fire's endless cycle. A king's flame, a knight's vow, a wolf's grief, all are prisons. The lands between thrum with the echoes, Sir Gideon's shattered blade, Lady's silent vigil, the nameless dead who haunt the Erdtree's hollows. Their loyalty was not a bond, but a burial, and Artorias, his soul, does not linger for Melremark, it lingers for Sif. The great grey wolf's memory is no benediction, it is a tomb. What if the true curse is not to be forgotten, but to be remembered too well? The cycle turns, the flame dies, the wolf waits, and the night, forever bound to the shape of her sorrow, can never truly die. 162 words. The great grey wolf Sif remembers her night, forever. The Erdtree whispers it, a curse woven in moonlight and regret. Her memory is a noose, her loyalty a tomb. Artorias, shattered by the abyss's touch, cannot fade. The lands between hunger, but his soul is locked in her endless gaze. What is eternal love but a prison of shadows? He staggers through the cycle, a wraith in her eyes, forever hunting a war that died with the flame. The wolf's howl is his epitaph, a night bound not by chains, but by the weight of a memory that will not let him rest. What if Sif's grief is the Erdtree's design, a prison not of stone but memory? Artorias, the knight who walked the abyss's edge, now guards its opposite, a throne of roots that feeds on loyalty. Next, we unravel the curse that binds him, how a hero